This is the Pangong Lake that you know. Turquoise water, blue skies, a scooter parked on the shore, straight out of Three Idiots. Now here is the Pangong Lake I actually found when I got there early April. Frozen, silent, completely different lake. And in the next 24 hours, this place would show me 3 completely different faces. We started from Nubra Valley and traveled through an unreal path, which is actually the course of the dried Shock River. We arrived at Pangong early afternoon under broad sunlight, but surprised to find the frozen lake at Lukung, the first village along the lake. Most people visit Pangong between May and September, when the water is at the bluest and the passes are fully open. I went in early April, technically the tail end of the winter, and the difference shows the moment you arrive. Pangong Lake sits at about 4,350 meters. It is roughly 134 kilometers long. Only about a third of the length is actually in India. The rest stretches into Tibet. Most of the guest houses along the lake are shut. We found exactly one place still running at Lukung. We were down at the viewpoint, near those famous seats and scooters. Beyond those hills are the Indo-Sino borders. The sky meanwhile looked ominous. Even a rookie like me about the mountain weather can feel a storm is approaching. And so it came. As we made a quick retreat, splashes of snow came down mercilessly, moderate to begin with and promising to intensify. We rushed back to our car. It wasn't fancy. Half a dozen pipes, a plastic sheet greenhouse doubling as the dining room that ranged from charming the genuinely bizarre. But it was ours for one night, and honestly, having this place almost to ourselves was half the appeal. The snow meanwhile intensified. There was fun. There was cold and there was blurred visibility. This could be terrifying for some, yet these are those experiences for which we explorers live for. Late that afternoon, in a gap between snow showers, we drove further along the shore to Spangmik, the last village most travelers reach before the road continues to the restricted stretch towards Chushul. It's the same village that shows up in most classic Pangong photographs, including the scooter scene everyone remembers from the movies. And here is what caught me off guard. The water here hasn't frozen at all. Same lake, barely a few kilometers from where the ice sheet we saw at Lukung, but open, moving, and unmistakable deep blue Pangong, the way it is famous for. Depth, currents, wind exposure, something about this stretch kept it from freezing over the way the shallower bay near Lukung had. It was a reminder that a lake this size doesn't behave as one single thing. It has moods, depending upon exactly where you are standing. Even here, so close to the border, there is a quiet, understated Indian marker, a small flag planting at the water's edge. No fanfare, just a reminder exactly which side on the border are you standing at. Before the next part, 5 things I wish somebody had told me before doing this in April. 1. Almost nothing is open. We called ahead to confirm before driving up. Don't assume the place will be open as the last season it was. 2. You need the inner line permit. Get that done in Leh before coming here. 3. There is no real backup plan for the weather. If a storm rolls in, you are not going anywhere until it clears. The road back over Changla can shut any time without any notice. 4. Network coverage can be patchy. At most, you can get a bare minimal signal. And 5. The cold isn't like anything that you have seen in other parts of Ladakh. For us, it went down to minus 15 degrees in the night. It's a different kind of cold at 4,350 meters than back home. Pack for worse than you think you will need. If this kind of a real talk travel info is useful, not just the pretty shots, that's genuinely most of what this channel does. Hit like if you want more of such videos and stick around because the next 12 hours were the most surreal part of the whole trip. By evening, the snow had been coming in short bursts and turned into something else entirely. It didn't let up, not for an hour, not for the whole night. At over 4,000 meters, with the temperature dropping well below freezing and almost no other travelers around, it stopped feeling like a holiday, it started feeling like an expedition. We stepped out between the heaviest spells, just to see it. No wind, no traffic, no other lights for kilometers, just snow falling on a frozen lake near the silence. And the lake has disappeared into dark completely. Nothing but a faint white line where the ice met the shore. And then, morning. If the night before felt bleak, this was the payoff. Every mountain around us was fully white. The sky had cleared up to a sharp high altitude blue. And the frozen lake below looked us. It had repainted overnight. Genuinely, it didn't look like Ladakh anymore. It looked like a postcard from somewhere in the Alps. In peak summer, the same spot is lined with cars, tour groups, and the crowd noise that comes from any famous landmark. In April, we had a completely transformed landscape, almost entirely to ourselves, snow untouched, silence intact, nobody else in the frame. It's easy to plan a trip around the version of a place you have seen in the photos. It's much harder and honestly, much more rewarding to go when nobody tells you to go and let the place show whatever it's going to show you on that day. 3 faces of one lake, frozen, flowing, and finally blanketed in fresh snow. All inside 24 hours. That's Pangong in April. Harder to reach, harder to stay warm, but in version of the lake almost nobody chooses to see. If you would rather trade the crowds for a little cold and a lot of silence, this is your sign. 3 quick things. If this was useful and if you have learned something you didn't expect, the frozen lake, the salt water, or any one of it, hit like. It's the single biggest thing that tells YouTube to show this to more people who are planning for Ladakh trip. Tell me in the comments, frozen white Pangong or blue summer Pangong? Which one would you actually want to see first?